If you want to see a tool that helps you pinpoint market bottoms, you're going to want to stay tuned to all of today's On the Radar. Hey, this is Dennis Wilburn, the Active Trend Trader. It's the day before Thanksgiving 2022. What is the Active Trend Trading system about? It's about helping traders like you achieve wealth building so that you can also reach financial freedom. So with no further ado, let's get on to today's session because I know you're going to love this tip. Hey, well, it's time to get started. I'm sitting there checking out the charts over to my left. And guess what? We're getting a little bit of a pre-Thanksgiving rally. So let's see what happens the rest of this session. Let's jump on into today's session and take a look at what the heck is going on. There we go. Hey, this is Dennis, the Active Trend Trader. We'll do a real quick, and there's the bell. It has been a bit of a bloody week so far this Thanksgiving and reduced trading week. Again, there will be no trading tomorrow because it is Thanksgiving Day. And I have a quick question for you, which has totally nothing to do with trading, which is basically, which are you? Are you a turkey person or are you a ham person? If you let us know down in the comments on the YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on Instagram, let us know. Are you a pumpkin pie person or a pecan pie person? Do you like it a la mode or without? What is a non-a la mode? Without ice cream. Anyway, let us know. Just have some fun. What's your plans? Big Thanksgiving? Small Thanksgiving? I know that we still have, in some states, such as Hawaii, still have the overburdensome basically restrictions on who can get together and why and all that kind of stuff, but that's okay. We're going to still be thankful because it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. Let's take a look at what's going on with the S&P. As you can see, S&P has basically did a hard sell-off. Started Monday, came down, hit the 20. Now, one of the things that I want to pay attention to is oftentimes when we start getting into topping type modes, and we could be very well getting into a topping mode with the S&P in that, but topping patterns tend to be a process where on the flip side of that, the bottoming seems to be more of an event. Something you can get, put that in your hip pocket and just keep it in mind. What tends to happen on the highs, though, is this. Basically, we come in, we get a sell-off, pow. Turns out to be the biggest sell-off for a while. Then we get another sell-off, pow. Each time we start hammering down on these moving averages. I call it the jackhammer effect, if you will. So we go, pow. Then I could go down here, we broke it. Then finally, pow, we finally broke it for good. Like as this process is going over, just pay attention. Are the moving averages starting to roll over? Ours are starting to flatten out a little bit. That's the 8, that's the 20. We are still well extended away from the 50-day moving average. So if the 50-day moving average is your trigger to whether or not we are in an uptrend, as you can see, the S&P is still in an uptrend. Nice move today, though. The short and shallow pullbacks are still in effect. We pulled back a little bit deeper, and we got a hammer yesterday. Although I don't really call yesterday's candlestick a hammer simply because it is at the, there's no real trend to reverse. So look for it to start moving back up. The other thing that we have going on here is this. Our TSI, negative divergence. The market forecast is not rolled over yet. And as we're just sitting there, I'm still working with this stochastics on whether or not I'm going to implement that into some of our trading process. We'll see. But we really don't need it because we have the TSI and the market forecast, which are more than adequate to tell us what's going on. On a weekly chart, we've got a half a day on Friday to get past. As you can see, on the weekly chart. We get a little spinning top at a level of resistance. That's it. So that's what we're doing with the S&P. Let's see. I'm making that noise because there we go. My new drawing tool is a little bit wonky, if you will. So what about the NASDAQ? The NASDAQ basically, again, it blew out and reached up to a new high, broke out, but then it was a breakout fake out. We had 2 days of breakout, but then a hard reversal yesterday pushed us all the way back down now to the 20. Again, jackhammer effect. Put in a dragonfly doji, if you will, hammer, if you want to call it that. Now, we did retest today down at the low, came in. I would consider this clearly a bullish engulfing on today. Again, not much of a trend to reverse other than just a real quick shallow bounce off support and move back up. Now, I think we are set up going into Friday. If the sales reports on Black Friday come in good, we could blow on through and keep going on up. Look for a retest on the NASDAQ midsection of the green candle to the open of day, about 390. What was the open today? 394.93. Excuse me just a second. Okay, that's what we got going with the Qs. What about IWM? Okay, IWM. We had basically gotten into a trade early on in IWM, expecting a reversal off of this breakout area. Didn't happen. Pushed all the way back down to now we do have a reversal signal, a dragonfly doji quasi hammer yesterday at the end of a more significant downtrend. This is kind of textbook here. And then today, what do we get? We get a retest at the low from yesterday, a power on high closing up close to the high, but just below the 34-day moving average, bullish engulfing. Pay attention to what's going on with the indicators. As we see here, TSI started a curve up, but hasn't started completely. Market forecast. The shorter term market forecast indicators here, they gave us a two-line cluster win. Let's see when they gave it. They gave us a two-line cluster on the 22nd, which was Monday. And as we know, what's the rule on two-line clusters, or 2 and 3-line clusters? Somewhere between 1 and 4 trading periods after that, you're going to get a reversal. So we are 1, 2. That would be a reversal candle. TSI, the TSI momentum has not shifted to the upside yet. So, but it may be trying to hammer out a low here. And I'm still looking for the Russell to provide a year-end Santa Claus rally that will outpace the other indexes. That is what typically happens. Now, am I going to be upset if that doesn't happen, even though that is normally what does happen? Of course not. We'll trade the chart in front of us, and as we see right now, we have a good reversal signal. We've got a good level of support there at the 228.54 level, 228.62 yesterday. Was that the low? Yeah. So we know we have a good level of support there. Watch a pullback. If you're looking to trade the IWM, look to trade it off the 50-day moving average. Let it be your kind of line of demarcation. If I drop below that, I would trade with a conditional order popping back up above the 50-day moving average at 20.36 with a stop loss just slightly, 10 cents below 228.54. So that would put it down there at 228.44. And I could also look at trading both stocks and the ETF itself and options. And so that's what we'll be looking at for that. And so that covers the indexes. Like I said, on our weekly chart, yeah, as you see, we got a nice 4-week flag going on here. We could bounce from here. We'll see. The momentum indicators on the weekly chart look a little bit weaker than the indicators on that daily chart. The indicators on the daily chart, if we can get the market forecast turned back around the other way, that'll be good. So again, I'm looking at somewhere around the 50-day moving average for a potential trade in IWM and or its leverage ETF, which would be what? TQQQ. And we're getting the same type of pattern with that. Now on this, as you can see, the 50 is a little bit higher. So, I would not trade it off of the 50 on TNA. Just simply, this is backwardation and contango working against us. So I'd use the middle section of the candlestick, and a middle section of the candlestick about there. If then we fell down below that, we're about a 2.5 to 3% move. You may want to put it just down below the 100-day moving average. But anyway, I would keep my stop loss less than 5%. I'm anticipating again, Friday could be a very volatile day. And so that's where I will go, if I miss the entry on Friday, I'm not going to be that upset with it. But remember, it is a short half day. And I'm going to be looking. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to be jumping right in to a trade on this. But again, the midsection, 95.47 down to 94.32 might be a good entry point to get into TNA. May send that out to our premium members. So what are some of the other stocks we're looking at? As you know, I was looking earlier a little bit at Netflix. Netflix it's kind of in a trading range right now, but this trading range on Netflix, is what is kind of interesting on this, is the trading range is about $58. And so it makes it very apropos to trade from the bottom of the range up to the top. You can do that via if you want to, pay up for the options and do just a straight directional option trade. That's one thing. If you want to basically, I won't say save your money, but we can also let's see what they're going for here. Pop this over here real quick, and let's go out. Let's go out 23 days, and at the money 658. Yeah, at the money, the 655s, the 660s calls, they're going for about $20. So about $20. And so in a situation like this, I would be potentially looking at if I have an expectation, and those of you who don't know how to do this, it's very simple. And I do provide this kind of information for our premium members. I have an expectation right there of it going up or down $44. My volatility, my implied volatility is 33%. So I'd be interested in maybe buying the 660 and selling the 665 calls. And how much could I get that for? How much could I do that for? That would be a debit spread. Buy vertical. And it's $2.38. If it dropped down just a little bit more, I'd want to pick this up for probably about 210 to 220. And that way my risk reward is better than 1-to-1. So that is one way to trade Netflix. Again, it is showing, as we see, let me pop back over here. As you can see, I may say, hey, if it gets down to 649 or even 646, then put the trade on there. The only one of the things that's kind of a drawback on trading on Netflix is that the it's got $5 wide spreads. There are others that you could do that would provide you a little bit. You could get $2.50 spreads on it. splits on it, because I think even yeah, Google, no, Google's up. Google's looking at $50 splits. Amazon, what's Amazon doing? Amazon's $5. Apple's $1, but again, it's not at a setup point right now. But that's why a lot of people trade Apple with the options, because it's got such, the difference between sometimes they're $1 to $5 split on the strike prices. Also, go on down here to a couple of stocks we're looking at last week. Is basically Square just got beat to death. It basically broke down and then fell like a rock. What else am I looking at? I'm also looking now at, if you've been monitoring, I want to be continuing to watch out for BITO. What do we have going on? BITO is looking like, not quite a piercing line, but definitely two bullish haramis, 2 days in a row inside that big red candle. I'm utilizing either the Bitcoin futures, which the BITO is a ETF on the futures. As you can see, looks like it's curling up, getting ready for it to spring load up to the upside. We do have a strong level of support right there. So while I can't trigger a trade off of the BTC futures chart, I can at least put an alert in it, where if I pull back down to about where that line is, about 56,066, then see what my BITO would be at that point, would be about here. And see, as you can see, doesn't absolutely follow an exact pattern towards the futures. And that's why I then throw in GBTC just to get another picture. And GBTC is following the pattern of the futures also. So if it gets down to 45.45, I may be interested in a trade potentially on BITO. Actually, it is emulating the futures fairly well, because if I went back to the futures on the 19th of right there, the 19th, there you go, 19th of October. And you can see that looks pretty close to the pattern that we're certainly seeing on BITO. And then the other one I like from a Marathon Oil. I am following this. I made a post on this a few days ago. It is continuing to base, but it looks like it's still trying to build up the momentum to break out with the momentum. We haven't crossed on the TSI yet, but it looks like it's getting closer. It is fine. There's a battle going on at the 50-day moving average that could spring load either direction. So we'll keep our eye on that. For this to be back into an uptrend, we need to take out the 56.94 level, or maybe a little bit higher, $56.94 to $57. Take that out. The reason I'm interested in this, folks, is a couple of reasons. One, it's got good weekly options. Two, even if I buy the stock here, that move back up to the upside there, up here to here, is about 56%. There we go. 57, 56%. So that would be, that'd be a really nice Christmas present, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. So, hey, I promised you that I would cover show a tool that I utilize to help me confidently find market bottoms, and it tends to work out exceptionally well. I'm going to go ahead and change back to the Qs. Okay. And we will take a look at that. Now, what I utilize is this tool, and it's over here on And if you do go and choose to use this, just tell them the dentist sent you. No, I'm just joking. I am not affiliated with this website whatsoever, but it is a bar chart website. Is an excellent charting program. Maybe I should become an affiliate with it. But what I want to show you is, okay, this is a year chart. If you go back in time, I want to be notified when my price action on this gets down below the 30 level. Every time it gets down to the 30 or lower, there tends to be a strong reversal. Now you can go back and you can look at this. Sometimes it doesn't quite make it to the 30, and then it reverses and moves higher. As we see on here, this was, let's just do a couple of dates here. That date there is January 28th. I'm going to make a note to myself, January 28th. Now, this is totally unrehearsed. We did hit a new low here. Re-advertise it. Another low here. What day? March 25th. We got another one here. May 13th, May 12th or May 13th? May 12th. And I'll go ahead on over here. This was a little bit of a fake out. We hit this. The deeper it gets, the better the turnaround tends to be. June 19th. And then again on August 19th. And then this one here on September 20th. Like I said, now this is the percentage of stock above the 20-day moving average. There's the ticker symbol. And what it does is it basically just goes in. The index that it's primarily looking at is the NYSE. And the other reason why I like this, it can also show, I think it represents a more accurate picture of the economy, so that if a significant number of the stocks in this index are below the 20-day moving average, and again, if it gets down to 30% of them or more are below that average, there tends to be, there tends to be a reversion to the mean, and that oftentimes highlights where the bottoms are. So now that I identified that, doesn't seem to work quite as well at the tops to say, okay, this is topping out, that's going to fall. Oftentimes what will happen is you'll get a move back up to about the 75 level. And then if it reverses down, oftentimes it turns out to be just a pullback, opportunity for a pullback. So let's go ahead and just take a real quick look at those dates that we talked about there. And let me go back to the beginning of the year. And so what was our first date? It was January 28th. So where is January 28th? January 28th was there. So as you can see, what kind of and I like to utilize this indicator, especially when I get confirmation with both the TSI, here's the 28th and 29th, with the TSI crossing back up, and the market forecast also crossing back up. And as you can see right there on the 28th, I get a two-line cluster on the market forecast. Now let me broaden this up, see if I can get this. Okay, what was the next one in line? March 25th. March 25th. Look at that. Okay, that is not March 25th. Here is March 25th, right here. Actually, we did not get a signal there. Did we? No. We did not quite slip down into past the 30. But off the TSI, we get to the reversal signal. But again, March 25th is here. Where's May 12th? May 12th is right there. Simultaneously, this was a very powerful signal right here. Why? Because the momentum had just about elapsed all the way down to as low as it's going to go, and then it reversed hard from here and went on up. June 19th. June 19th. Okay, June 19th is right there. As you can see, we're already in a pattern to the upside, and that June 19th. Actually, June 19th, we did not drop below the 50. Matter of fact, let me go back, and that should be July 19th. Makes a lot more sense. And right there, July 19th. Again, not quite as powerful, but it's still telling you, hey, a reversal off that low is coming up. And then August 19th. August 19th. August 19th is right there. That's a good pattern. Boom, all the way up. And then last but not least, September 20th. And that corresponds to that day right there. And as you can see, what has happened with that one is actually it worked but didn't work. So in other words, we basically had the rebound, but then it fell on down a little bit deeper. And in that particular case, on the what day is that? October 4th, the signal came from here. So again, does it work every time? No. Does it work all the time? Yeah. It basically still hones you into a reversal is probably coming. Combine that with the other signals, and to basically even provide more convergence of clues that a reversal is on the way. So I just want to share that with you really quick. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, please leave a comment down in the section below. And if this is the first time you are joining us on YouTube, or if you're picking this up off of the Active Trend Trading website, just leave a comment and say, hey, good stuff. Or, hey, here's how you can, leave a comment on, this is how you can make whatever you're doing better, Dennis. But again, we're looking at helping you, one, build your wealth so that you can achieve financial freedom through trading. Aloha, and hey, I'll just say aloha. Have an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving. Watch some football if that's what you like to do. But by all means, enjoy your family. So aloha. God bless everybody.